afternoon to all of you. Good afternoon, sir. I hope all of us are well and fine, right? Well, today I will ask you some questions. And as I ask you questions, raise hands. Don't make it a fish market because you know why I am saying don't make it. So don't make it a fish market. Raise hands, and I will start asking questions. I know you are very bright students. Let me tell you, the program in this school is extraordinarily different, which is not the other school. But much depends upon how much you partake of it, how much you partake. I will start asking questions, and you will only raise hands. Who was the last king of Kashmir? Karan Singh. Karan Singh was the last Maharaja. Do you know what happened? After 1947, Maharaja Hari Singh was banned to come here. He was not allowed to come here. Whatever the reasons were, but Sheikh Mutla and Jawaharlal Nehru banned him to enter Kashmir. He lived rest of his life in Walden. And he handed over his charge to his son. Now can you tell me which was the year he handed over his charge to his son? It was 1949. You write down these things because these things are to be noted. Take out your notebooks and write. What Maharaja was? Maharaja Karan Singh. He was given charge as Maharaja by his father, Hari Singh. And the charge was given in the year 1949. The charge was given in the year 1949. Are you understanding it? 1949. So in 1949, Jammu and Kashmir was under. In 1949, Maharaja Karan Singh became the Maharaja of Kashmir. He became the Maharaja. Achha, can you tell me who was the last Hindu king of Kashmir? Sahadev. Sahadev was the last Hindu king of Kashmir. And do you know what happened to him? If you know what happened to him, raise hands. Yes, what happened? He was not overthrown by anybody. An invader came to Kashmir called Zulchi. He came from Mongolia. He had 75,000 forces with him. And you know, Mongolians were strong fighters. Do you know the most famous, rather I would say most notorious, because he was very cruel. Who was the most powerful king of Mongolia? Genghis Khan. From Genghis Khan's country came Zulchi. He was carrying 75,000 soldiers. When Sahadeva saw 75 soldiers strong from Mongolia have entered Kashmir, he ran away. Some say he ran away to Tibet, but some say he ran away to Kashmir. Most probably he ran away to Kashmir. Kashmir was near. Achha. So what happened to the throne of Kashmir after he ran away? You know, do you know what was the name of his wife? You know. Kota. The wife of that king was Kota Rani, and she took the charge of the governance. But officially, she was unofficially taking it during her husband also. Just as Noor Jahan was running the country during the reign of Noor Jahan was running the country during whose reign? Jahangir. Similarly, Kota Rani was running the country during Sahadev's time also. And do you know who was the father of Kota Rani? The father of Kota Rani was he was, I don't get the name immediately. Okay. During the course of my lecture, I will get it. Achha. You see, Ramachandran. Ramachandran was the Prime Minister of Sahadeva. And Ramchandran was the father of Kota Rani. And Ramchandran married his daughter to Sahadeva. So she was the queen and at the same time the daughter of the Prime Minister of Sahadeva. When Sahadev ran away, the throne came under the control of Ramakrishna. And you know what happened? Before Zulchi came here, you see, you must know this story of Kashmir. Before Zulchi came here, there were two people who came here. In 1330, Shamiri came here. 1313, Shamiri came here. He came from Swat. His grandfather was a astrologer, a spiritual man who could see future. His grandfather told him, "You are destined to rule Kashmir, and for about 300 years, your dynasty will rule Kashmir." So he came to Swat. He knew that whatever his grandfather said would be true, and he joined Sahdev's court. Sahdev made him a courtier. Courtier means one who attends the court. Then came Ranjan Shah. He probably came in 1320. You can check afterwards. In 1320, who came? Are you all writing it? You are not writing. All of you are not writing. Kindly see that they are writing. Ranjan Shah came in 1320. Ranjan Shah came here. It is in your course. You see what I am teaching you at this time? A chapter on Kashmir is not history. Is that right or not? Ranjan Shah came to Kashmir in 1320. He fought against his uncle in Ladakh, but he was defeated. His uncle was ruling Ladakh. He wanted to take over the throne from his uncle, but he failed. So he ran away from Ladakh and came to the court of Sahdeva. Who was Sahdeva? Raise hands. Who was Sahdeva? Last king of Kashmir. What happened to Sahdeva? Sahdeva ran out of Kashmir because of what? Raise hands. Why did he run away from Kashmir? Because Zulchi came to Kashmir with 75,000 soldiers. Why did he go? Some say that he went to Tibet, some say he went to Kashmir. So confirmed. Then who took the throne after he left? Ramachandra. Who was the prime minister? Who was Kota Rani? Kota Rani was the queen of Kashmir during Sahdeva's time. And she was the daughter of whom? Ramachandra. She was the daughter of Ramachandra. Are you understanding? Try to remember this and write. In classroom, you make a round and see whether they are writing. They have to write this. This is in their course. Okay, now, what happened? Zulchi with his soldiers stayed in Kashmir for 6 months. During these 6 months, he looted Kashmir as much as he and his soldiers could loot. Then at the end of 6 months, they took 50,000 young boys and girls as slaves along with them. And do you know what happened to Zulchi as he left Kashmir? As he was crossing the Banihal, what happened was snow avalanche came and they all left. They all? Right. So he got the punishment for his bad deeds. Right? Now see what happened. Now let us come back to Kashmir. I said Shamiri came here in which year? You have noted down. Which was the year that Shamiri came here? 1330. Shamiri came here in 1313. When did Zulchi come here? When did नहीं उसका नाम क्या था? Ranjan Shah. When did Ranjan Shah come here? 1320. You see, Shamiri came here in 1313. And Ranjan Shah came here in 1320. He also came to Sahdev's court. And became a courtier. But during the same time, we had an invader from Mongolia, and he was Zulchi. Now, as Sahdev ran away, at that time both Shamiri and Ranjan Shah were in the court of Sahdev. And he had made them ministers. They were smart people. When Ramachandran sat in the court, who was Ramachandran? This boy. Who was Ramachandra? This boy, he's not writing notes also. Who was Ramachandra? He was the Prime Minister of Saudi. You are not right. He was the Prime Minister of Saudi. He was the Prime Minister of Saudi. Let me see if you know. Now raise hands. Who was the last Hindu king of Kashmir? Last Hindu king of Kashmir was Karan Singh. देखो ना दो चीज, एक लास्ट हो गया खरी सिंह के बाद, दूसरा लास्ट हो गया जुल्फी के आने के बाद। उस वक्त वो लास्ट हिंदू किंग था। उसके बाद मुस्लिम डायनास्टी आई, सिख आ गए, डोगरा आ गए। उन डोगरों में लास्ट, the right thing I should have told you, who was the last Dogra king of Kashmir. That would be better. That was Karan Singh. Which was the year when he became the king? 1949. Who made him the king? His father. Why did his father give kingship to him? Because he was banned to come to Kashmir. Right? Achha. Much earlier, after the Hindu dynasty was over, and then came Muslim dynasty. Before the Muslim dynasty, the last king of Kashmir was Sahdeva. Why did Sahdeva run away from Kashmir? Because of Zulji. Because of Zulji, who had come from Mongolia. Achha. After Sahdeva left Kashmir, who became the occupied the throne? Ramachandra. Who occupied the throne? Are you writing it or not writing it? Ramachandra occupied the throne. Who was Ramachandra? Ramachandran was the Prime Minister of Sahdeva. He was the Prime Minister of Sahdeva. Now Ramachandra is ruling the state, right? With the help of his daughter. What was the name of his daughter? Now what happened was, Ramachandran made Ranjan Shah as the administrator. He gave him all powers. He made him the administrator and started ruling. Ranjan Shah took chance of becoming the king. How? One night, secretly, he sent forces into the fort in disguise and got Ramachandran killed. Who got Ramachandran killed? Ranjan Shah. Do you write? Ranjan Shah got Ramachandran killed. And he arrested the family of Ramachandran. The whole family of Ramachandran was jailed. Ranjan Shah became the king and married Kotarani. Now, who was Ranjan Shah? He had come from Ladakh. During which time he had come from Ladakh? 1320. About 1320 you can say. And in his court, in whose court had Ranjan Shah come? Ramachandra. He had come in the court of Sahdeva. Sahdeva had made him a minister. Achha, who made him administrator? Ramachandran made him administrator. Now he is the king of Kashmir. He is the king of Kashmir from the Kashmir. Achha, during this period there came a certain fakir to Kashmir. Who was the first Islamic preacher who came to Kashmir? It was Bulbul Shah. The first Islamic preacher who came to Kashmir was Bulbul Shah. Bulbul Shah converted Ranjan Shah into Islam. Who converted Ranjan Shah? Bulbul Shah. It was Ranjan Shah who was converted into Islam by Bulbul Shah. Bulbul Shah converted him into Islam and gave him the name Sadruddin. Gave him the name? किसको सदरुद्दीन का नाम दिया? किसने दिया? अब देखो क्या? Can you tell me who built the first mosque in Kashmir? It was Sadruddin who built up the first mosque in Kashmir. पहली मस्जिद कश्मीर में रंजन शाह ने बनाई, मगर उस वक्त उसका नाम था सदरुद्दीन, क्या था? और वो बड़ी मस्जिद थी। ये कौन सी मस्जिद उसने बनाई? बड़ी। और उसने दूसरी मस्जिद भी बनाई, उसने 2 मस्जिदें बनाई। कुछ लोग कहते हैं वो अली कदर की मस्जिद थी जो उसने बनाई, लेकिन आप चेक करो, इसमें थोड़ा कंट्रडिक्शन है। चेक, एक जगह नेट कहता है उसने अली कदर में बनाई, दूसरी जगह कुछ लोग कुछ और कहते हैं, मगर 2 मस्जिद। इसका नाम क्या था? सदरुद्दीन। सदरुद्दीन का पहला नाम क्या था? इंचेस्टर। कहाँ से आया था? और वो किसकी कोर्ट में आया था? अच्छा, अब मुझे देखो क्या हुआ। सदरुद्दीन ने एक लंगर भी खोला, किसके नाम पर? बुलबुल शाह के नाम पर एक लंगर खोला, उसका नाम था बुलबुल लंगर। उसका क्या नाम था? आप उसको कहते हैं बुलबुल लंगर। अब ये नाम जो है चेंज हो गया इनका, बुलबुल। आपको पता है ये जो परी महल है, इसका असली नाम था पीर महल। क्या था इसका नाम? पीर महल। फिर पीर महल से ये बन गया परी महल। इसको पीर महल क्यों कहते थे? क्योंकि वहां एक पीर होता था, मुस्लिम पीर, जो कि दारा शिको को उपनिषद सिखाता था। दारा शिको कौन था? ये नहीं पता होगा। और दारा शिको औरंगजेब का नहीं, औरंगजेब का भाई था और शाहजहां का लड़का था। ओके, इसी तरह से क्या हुआ, मैंने कहा कि जो बुलबुल शाह था ये कश्मीर का पहला पीर था, और बुलबुल शाह के नाम पर सदरुद्दीन ने बनाया लंगर, जिसका नाम क्या था? बुलबुल लंगर आप उसको कहते हैं। वहाँ पर गरीब लोग खाना खाया, गरीब लोग, आप भी जा सकते थे, ये गरीब ही खाए, जो भी जाता खाना खाए। मान लीजिए मुझे भूख लग गई है तो लंगर नजदीक है, मैं जाके खाना खाऊँ। जैसे सरदार है ना, सरदारों के गुरुद्वारों में लंगर होता है, उसमें सब जाके खाना खा सकते, खाली गरीब नहीं खा सकते, मगर उम्मूमन नीड होती है गरीबों को जो जाके खाना। अच्छा, अब क्या हुआ? आप देखो क्या, अब ये सदरुद्दीन मर गया, ये जल्दी मर गया, कोई 5 साल या 4 साल से राज किया, मर। इसका एक बेटा था, उसका नाम था हैदर। क्या था उसका? हैदर जो है उसने इसको सौंपा था किसको? शामिरी को। उसको कहा था यार इसको अच्छा मुसलमान बनाओ। शामिरी के हवाला किया इसको अच्छा, तो उसने उसको कुरान शरीफ पढ़ाया, मुसलमान बनाया। अब क्या हुआ? अब ऐसा हुआ, जिस वक्त सदरुद्दीन गुजर गया तो उसकी बीवी कोटा रानी जो है वो तख्त पर बैठ गई। आपको पता है उसकी बीवी कोटा रानी थी? पहले वो किसकी बीवी थी? सहदेव। पहले सहदेव। अब जब सहदेव को भागना पड़ा, फिर रामाचंद्रन बन गया। रामाचंद्रन की लड़की राज करती रही, लेकिन रामाचंद्रन के मारने के बाद रामाचंद्रन को किसने मारा? सदरुद्दीन ने मारा, रंजन शाह ने मारा, वही है सदरुद्दीन। रंजन ने मारा और उसकी कोटा रानी से शादी की। तो अब जब सदरुद्दीन गुजर गया, उसकी बीवी तख्त पर बैठ गई, कोटा रानी तख्त पर। अब क्या हुआ? अब एक और जुल्फी आया। क्या हुआ? एक और जुल्फी, मतलब वही जुल्फी नहीं, मंगोली से एक और। मगर इस वक्त कोटा रानी गई, हर जगह लेक्चर दी। ये लीडर होते, लीडरशिप क्वालिटी खाम है, ये बात चली बनती। उसने लोगों को जगाया, उनकी हिम्मत बांधी, कहा भाई उठो, इस वक्त हम खामोश नहीं रहेंगे। आपने देखा है जुल्फी ने हमारे साथ क्या किया, हमको लूटा, हमारी लड़कियां ली, हमारे लड़के लिए और हम पर मुसीबतें ढाई। अब हम ये नहीं सहेंगे, इकट्ठे हम इस नए दुश्मन का मुकाबला करेंगे। उसने शामिरी को कमांडर चीफ बनाया। क्या बनाया? शामिरी कौन था? ये कहां से आया था? शामिरी समाज से आया था। उसको किसने मोटिवेट किया कश्मीर आने के लिए? उसके ग्रैंडफादर ने। उसके ग्रैंडफादर ने उसको क्या कहा था? क्या आप कश्मीर का राज करेंगे, पीढ़ियां आपकी पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी राज करो। तो अब शामिर बन गया कमांडर चीफ, लोग सब ज्वाइन हो गए। जैसे इस वक्त यूक्रेन में सारे लोग ज्वाइन हो गए, ऐसे ही कश्मीरी सारे ज्वाइन हो गए और उसको भगाया जो दूसरा लीडर आया था। अब कोटा रानी खुशियां मना रही है, नहीं बनाई, और शाहमीरी भी खुशियां मना रही बिकॉज वो कमांड चीफ था। अब कोटा रानी कहीं घूमने गई और शाहमीरी तख्त पर बैठ और ताज अपनी सिर पर रखा। इसको क्या कहते हैं अंग्रेजी में जब कमांड चीफ तख्त को ले ले, उसको क्या कहते हैं अंग्रेजी? उसको कू कहते हैं। कू के स्पेलिंग क्या है? COUP। क्या कहते हैं? COUP। उसने मिलिट्री को किया और तख्त पर बैठ गए। और क्या किया? तख्त पर आपने समझ लिया, और बन गया शाहमीरी डायनास्टी। इस वक्त कौन सा साल था? इस वक्त 1333 था। 1333 में अमेराइट है 1333 में शाहमीरी बिकेम द किंग ऑफ कश्मीर। उसने भी कोटा रानी के साथ शादी की। कोटा रानी में पहले सहदेव की बीवी थी, फिर वो किसकी बीवी थी? सदरुद्दीन की बीवी थी। अब किसकी बीवी बन गई? मगर ऑन द नफ्शल नाइट इटसेल्फ आई थिंक शाहमीरी किल्ड एंड ही किल्ड हर सन आल्सो। उसके लड़की का नाम क्या था? हाइदर। क्यों? ये रिवाज है, जब एक बादशाह जीतता है तो पिछले बादशाह को वो मारता है, उसकी फैमिली को भी मारता है, ताकि सारे रास्ते साफ हो। ठीक है, अब मैं देखता हूँ कितने लोग मुझे जवाब देंगे। ये रिकैपिटुलेशन। आई विल आस्क क्वेश्चन, यू रेज हैंड। बताओ बिफोर द मुस्लिम डायनास्टीज started ruling Kashmir, who was the last Hindu king of Kashmir? Before the Islamic dynasty started, before Islam entered into Kashmir, who was the last king of Who was the first Muslim king of Kashmir? Walden Shah was a Muslim preacher, the first Muslim preacher. उसी ने तो रिजन शाह को कन्वर्ट किया। Who made the first mosque in Kashmir? Sadruddin. How many mosques did Sadruddin make here? 2. He also made a langar. What was that langar called? Now it is called Bulbul Langar. Previously it was Bulbul Langar. अच्छा, आप बताओ कोटा रानी पहले किसकी बीवी थी? शाहदेव। बाद में किसकी बीवी बनी? सदरुद्दीन। फिर लास्ट में किसकी बीवी बनी? और शाहमीरी की बीवी जब बनी, then she was killed along with her son. Along with her son. उसके बेटे का नाम क्या था? अच्छा, शाहमीरी कब आया था कश्मीर? 1330। और रिंचन शाह कहाँ से आया था? लद्दाख से आया था। समझे? सहदेव कहाँ भागा? सहदेव कहाँ भागा? क्या किश्तवाड़? वो देखो। अच्छा बताओ, सहदेव क्यों भागा? हाथ जरा खड़े करो। सहदेव क्यों भागा? रेज हैंड्स। अरे ये कोई ये जवाब। सहदेव क्यों भागा कश्मीर से? रेज हैंड्स। आई वांट टू सी। रेज हैंड्स। अरे यू आर आल्सो नॉट लिसनिंग। सहदेव को क्यों भागना पड़ा? एनीवे, अब मैं आपसे एक बहुत जरूरी बात करूँगा। ये तो हम कल दोबारा कंटिन्यू करेंगे और आपका कश्मीर का चैप्टर करेंगे। सुनिए, ये बहुत जरूरी, ये जो अब मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, और ये अच्छी तरह सुनो। जब आप शाम को रात को सोने जाते हैं, अपने सिरहाने पर सिर रखते हो, तो अपने आप को बताओ, I am getting better and better day by day. Mind, body, ये रिपीट करते जाओ। ये रिपीट करते जाओ जब तक नींद आए। इसका असर miraculous हो जाए। Because when you will give a suggestion to yourself during sleep, you will definitely feel better. And mind, body, intellectually you will feel better, physically you will feel better, and spiritually you will feel better. Right? Other thing that I want to tell you, make your diary called personal diary. All great men have been writing diary. ये सोम डायरी में आप क्या लिखिए? आप टाइम टेबल बनाइए, इंग्लिश में साइंस जो भी है, और इधर से डेट, सब्जेक्ट है ना, सब्जेक्ट कॉलम पे, फिर यहाँ से डेट्स, आज कौन सा तारीख है? 8 तारीख को लगाएंगे क्या मैंने इंग्लिश काम किया, मैथ का काम किया, साइंस का काम किया, इसलिए, और क्या मैंने होम डायरी लिखी, उसका भी टिक किया क्रॉस, क्या मैंने रात को सोने के टाइम बताया, टिक किया क्रॉस। या आपको ये डायरी का फॉर्मेट आपको मेल में आ रहा है, एंड यू विल ऑल्सो सी हर रोज जब आप देखेंगे मैंने क्रॉस क्रॉस क्रॉस, आप कॉन्शियस हो जाएंगे, अगर टिक टिक होगा तो यू विल बी हैप्पी। इस डायरी में जो नेक्स्ट पेजेस हैं उनमें आप लिखेंगे क्या, आई हैड अ गुड डे, आई शेयर्ड माई टैलेंट्स, I shared my knowledge. As you write at the basement, at the bottom of it, I spent my day there. I attended my service there. I obeyed my parents. I obeyed my teachers. I completed the formalities of my religion. Namaz, jo bhi hai. I shared my talents with my friends. I tried to help people who needed help. अगर किया होगा तो यस, अगर नहीं फिर what is your plan for the next day? When you write at the back, at the bottom, my plan for next day will be this. You know, Babar was writing his diary. At the end of it, what happened? That book was published as Toz Ki Babari. Nehru was every day writing letter to his daughter. And that book was formed in the shape of glimpses of the world history. All great men have been writing. You know, there is a great psychologist called B.F. Skinner. He would maintain the diary and say, did I publish a paper today? Yes or no. Did I do any research for today? Yes or no. When there will be crosses, for a week, 3-4 crosses, he would lock himself in a cellar and complete the incomplete work. And that B.F. Skinner is considered to be the founder of operational conditioning, a great scientist. So if you want to become great, if you want to become a face in the crowd, you may become an engineer, but known engineer. You may become a doctor, known doctor. You may become a teacher, known teacher. You understand? If you become whatever you become, you may become a professional, a businessman, a politician, leader, because that is what I expect my children to become. Everybody must know it. You must have ambition. If you don't have ambition, you cannot move forward. You must have ambition. You identify your goal. At present, do your studies thoroughly well and try to stand first. And write on your wall in your room, I am the best. I am the best. You will become